We're back on Morning Trade Live. So let's dive into some big movers in the market right now. Vistra and Oklo are on the rise this morning after signing nuclear deals with Meta. Here's where all three stocks are trading this morning. And as you can see, it's a big win for Oklo as far as a commercial customer is concerned, up 15% right now. Vistra is trading higher, 14%. It's been a big week, of course, because it did also go and buy another company with respect to some of its natural gas facilities earlier this week. Meta, though, trading up just fractionally there, 0.5% higher off the back of this news. So that's the focus of the morning trade. Joining us now for a closer look is Marley Kayden. Very good morning to you. Happy Friday, Marley. We've talked a lot about the AI boom and the need for power, and so this deal for Meta represents that, no doubt. What do we need to know about this? Because as I said, a big deal for Oklo, no doubt, which you and I have covered extensively about really that need for that licensing and that commercial customer too.
Yeah, and then this is all tied to a nuclear play here. All of the deals announced today are tied to nuclear energy. They also make Meta the biggest buyer of nuclear power among the hyperscaler peers, so the biggest in the group with the announcement of these deals. The arrangements, like you said, are with Vistra, with Oklo, and also with TerraPower. They're all working on nuclear power technologies, and they're to help back Meta's Prometheus supercluster computing system that's currently being built at a data center in New Albany, Ohio. So Meta says it will purchase electricity from 3 existing Vistra plants and support several small reactors that Oklo and TerraPower, which is backed by Bill Gates, are planning to build over the next decade. Like you've mentioned, Oklo is still working to provide any of the power and small nuclear reactors that it's promising, but this deal is certainly a major help for them as well as for TerraPower. Those deals follow a separate June agreement to get energy from a Constellation Energy nuclear site. So now 4 nuclear players partnering with Meta behind this. Now, in working with these 3 companies on energy production, Meta says that these projects could add 6.6 gigawatts of power by 2035. So that's less than a decade from now. That exceeds the total demand for the state of New Hampshire, Sam. To put that into some perspective about how much power that actually is, it's more than the state of New Hampshire consumes. Meta did not disclose the value of these contracts, but agreements of these size, if you look historically, can easily represent billions of dollars in total revenue for electricity generators. Meta has also said that it expects Prometheus to come online sometime in 2026. So Vistra will be a key player in this because they already have nuclear reactors. Meta also saying it will help fund Vistra's nuclear power plants in Ohio and in Pennsylvania to extend the lifespan of those facilities and increase their energy production. And as we've already talked about, the other 2 companies, TerraPower and Vistra, their nuclear projects are currently being developed. Meta also adds that these agreements will create what they say thousands of construction jobs and hundreds of long-term operational jobs here. And this, of course, follows Meta alongside of Amazon and Google signing a pledge back in March that say they support the tripling of global nuclear energy production by the year 2050. So a big day in nuclear, a big day for Meta, although Meta not seeing a huge move to the upside, up about 0.75% right now.
Yeah, nice day for all 3 stocks. Double digits for Vistra and Oklo. Really appreciate the details, Marley. Thank you so much for that. Let's trade it now with Dan Deming, Managing Partner at KKM Financial. Happy Friday to you, Dan. So Meta, how are you approaching your example trade?
Well, the price action of Meta is underwhelming today, given the fact that we're seeing a kind of a buy everything rally as we move through the morning. When you look at the stock market and you look at the commodity market as well as the U.S. dollar. But, the thing about Meta is, to me, when you look at the price action, it still has some work to do to break out of this, what in theory looks like a downward cycle at the moment. And I think that that's going to possibly continue before we see some resolution here and some higher price action in Meta. So today's trade example is to capture a move back down into the lower end of the recent range. And I'm looking at buying the February 640, 610 put 1x2. You can put that on for a credit right here, about $4, $4.50. So you get paid to put this position on. You kind of have the opportunity to wait to see how this unfolds. If we move higher from here, then you get to collect the premium. If we move lower, then you have a capture range down below the market. And if we see significant selling pressure below 610, then you have the opportunity to get long at that level, which I think is more compelling. So this basically creates a zone to the downside that captures from further downside if we see it. And if we don't, then you still get to collect some credit versus a stock and move forward if we at February expiration.
Okay, that's an example trade for us for Meta this morning. As you say, trading 0.8% higher. Perhaps some had expected more than that off the back of a news development like this. But just want to get your thoughts on the sort of overall broader market this morning, Dan. I mean, you mentioned it does very much appear to be a bit of an everything rally today. I mean, I'm just looking across the sectors. We've got pretty much everything in the green, as you mentioned, across precious metals as well. Gold even catching a bit, even as the dollar is higher as well. Just talk us through your thoughts. I mean, obviously, we've got nothing from the Supreme Court on this sort of tariff ruling, so they're holding off for now. So I suppose we just have to wait and see. But what do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, it appears that the market's getting a bit of relief rally due to that fact, although I think it's priced in, heavily priced in, that this is possibly going to go against the administration, at least in this round. We'll see how it gets worked out over time. But, you know, the renewed strength here after some selling pressure, after some of the news this morning, overall the news was pretty benign, although I think a little bit more positive than negative. And what the outlier here, I think, today, Sam, is the fact that you're seeing strength across various sectors in the market. And I think, again, some of the themes under the market in the last couple of days have been positive. The productivity theme is something that's coming back into the fold. We're seeing growth continue to be substantial as we're seeing these GDP now numbers coming out strong. And overall, the economic activity looks pretty good as we move into earnings season. And the expectations now are being lifted into earnings season. So I think there's some catalysts here that continue to propel this market, at least short term. And today, I think really the interesting dynamic is the fact that you're seeing the metals higher and the dollar higher, as well as the stock market higher, and rates pretty much unchanged. So strength across the board here as we close out this day, at least after initial selling pressure.
Great stuff as always. Really appreciate it today, Dan. Thanks so much for your time. Dan Deming, Managing Partner at KKM Financial. Enjoy your weekend.